Hi everybody, welcome back to Muddy Boots Off-Road. So, we had a dilemma. We were supposed to take off this morning and head up to some mud drags, but me and Jess last weekend went through a whole ton of work. Pulled a motor, put a motor in, did the initial fire up, checked everything, and apparently I spun a bearing on my new to me used motor. So here it is. I wasn't going to film it, I was just going to fix it and play it off. But the reality is, you make mistakes. Shit happens. Yeah. So I'm currently slowly plugging away on getting this motor back out. I'm going to use the bottom end of this motor, the top end of this motor, and see if I can't salvage this. We'll see. I don't know. I'm pretty discouraged right now. That's the reality of it. But whenever doing this stuff, you just got to keep plugging along. That's all there is to it. Whether it's filming, editing, building something, don't get discouraged. It's going to happen. Walk away for a couple days, come back to it, and keep plugging along. But like I said, that's kind of where we're at this weekend. Is just kind of, I'm going to go slow and plug along. We hurried, and I don't know what I did wrong. I don't know if I didn't get the oil pump shaft seated right. If the oil pump went bad because it should have been good from the old motor, it was working. I don't know. It made a squealing noise like the belt had a belt squealing noise on the front end. Thought it was the water pump. Now she is tighter than a drum. She is tight. There's no hand cranking it over or nothing. So throw in the comments what you might think, and when I get it out and tore apart, we'll find out the answer together. So that's kind of where we're at. Yeah, just a little quick video here of frustration, discouragement, and just flat annoyance, to be honest with you. But this is it. This is where we're at. So, but we have a good bottom end right there, and we have a good top end right here. Why can't it work? Pull that one out, stick it on one of my motor stands, and at a later date, what we'll do is we'll just rebuild it with a cam and everything. But that's where we're at right now. So like, subscribe if you enjoy what I'm doing. Appreciate it. Thumbs up, comments, all that stuff is appreciated whenever you get involved with me. So, but yeah, a little bit of frustration. I'll probably film a little bit as I'm going through this, getting that motor out, but we'll tear into it and see what we got. So I'm making a little progress. Got most of the stuff off the top end. You know, the manifold's off, the coil packs are out of the way. Yesterday, I don't know, whenever you're pulling motors, and I wish I did this sooner. I made one for the 351 when I was doing it because I like the center pull, but I made a plate. The bolts for the manifold, the lower half of the intake there. I made this yesterday when I was reevaluating what I was going to do with this thing. I took some old scrap. You guys know I like to use scrap metal, and drilled some holes in it to use the gasket. I didn't film it at all, but this is what I did yesterday. This and a few household chores that I have around here. But took my gasket, set it on here, kind of rough cut it out real quick with the plasma cutter. I didn't even clean it up. I didn't really care. Drilled some holes in it, used some nuts and washers to make sure the bolts fit. Another piece, drilled some holes for a D-ring, but that's going to make it a lot easier moving these in and out instead of running chains all over the place. Might have to figure out a way to make my adjustment cradle work on it. We'll see, but I can take that one off of there and bolt it on this one, and we'll get her out. But that's what I did yesterday. You guys can kind of see there what I did. It's pretty easy. Scrap metal gasket, used it as a template, and now she sits a lot easier. It's a lot better than running a chain. Alright, so I'm not 100% sure, but I'm pretty sure we had oil pump failure. What it caused this to spin a bearing, seize up, whatever it is on the lower end. When I pulled, the hose is going to my oil filter relocation kit. There is no oil in that system at all. So I don't know what we did. I know what I am doing. I'm getting out of the light. There we go. Anyway, so I have no oil in that system, so I'm pretty sure I had an oil pump failure, and it took less than 15 minutes for it to destroy all my hopes and dreams of making the mud drags this weekend. So that's where we're at. I got all the stuff off the front, the fan, the radiators, all out of it. Let me get you flipped around here so you can see. So we're gonna really do, getting her tore apart. Like I said, I'm just plugging away. I am not in a hurry today. I just kind of keep you guys going with the loop here. But when I do this video, I'll post the other video first of us putting it all in and stuff. But fuel rail is going to come out here shortly. You get everything off the top. Then it's going to be bell housing bolts, exhaust system, and like take the torque converter bolts off, which I don't think I can. It's going to have to come out with it because that is not going to turn. Yeah, so just trying to think ahead here a little bit, but yeah, there it is. This is what we got going. So, but I'm pretty sure that this, we'll see if we can do it in the dark here. This set of hoses right here, which you can see, have nothing. There is nothing in there. There's power steering fluid leaking all over the place from that, but there is nothing coming out of that system. So I am pretty positive. That I had an oil pump failure, which I always change the oil pump when I do a motor switch. That's one thing I always do. This one I didn't because it was a fairly new oil pump. I guess we'll check when we get into it. We'll find out when we get that far. Alright, so everything's unhooked except for the bell housing. Bell housing's it, and the two motor mount stud bolts. That's it. Everything else is loosen up. I do have that one ground strap on the top. As I pull it forward, I will unhook that half-inch bolt. But you can see I took my plate that I made over there. It's off of that motor and onto this motor. So I do have to loosen my frame rails, or fuel rail, excuse me, up to get it to slide in there, because I have a little bit of clearance issue right there, which I'm going to mark it so that I can clearance it. But it's a matter of getting the bell housing bolts off, and these two studs that are located down here on the motor mount here, this side, and pull it up. Goose transmission fluid all over the floor because the torque converter's got to come out with it, because I cannot crank it over by hand. So yeah. And I'm pretty positive that when we were fumbling around, we may not have put the oil pump shaft correctly into the distributor, which is completely our fault, but we'll see what happens once I get that out and we tear the pan off of it. We're going to find out. So that's where we're at. But again, frustration. Very, very, very frustrated today about it. So what I'll do is I'll show you this. This is the oil pump that came out of it. And I know we're in here, but what I think is at the top part of the bottom part of the distributor where this goes in, and as the distributor rotates, it causes this to pump oil. Sucking oil up through the tube, into the pump, up into the motor. And I believe that this little go-go gadget right here did not seat correctly. And all my heartache is because of this little bastard here. But it is what it is. My fault. I thought I had it, but apparently I did not. So, almost getting ready to pull her out. We'll have her pulled out here shortly, probably. I don't know if I'll do it tonight or tomorrow. I'm just plugging. So, we'll see here shortly. Alright, so she's ready. The motor mount bolts, that is it. Everything else is unhooked. Plate is been moved over to here. Everything is disconnected. I gotta fold that wiring harness out of the way. I take the tires off the front, set it down as far as I can on the jacks. Stick them on jack stands down here like that so that I can get in there and have enough to clear the firewall. One of these days I might make it to where this whole clip comes off. We'll see. I don't know. I'd like to just be able to pull that off there one day, but then I have to do a whole lot of wiring stuff. And the brown truck, we're doing it with that. That was going to be easy, but this one's a little bit more complicated. So yeah, so we are ready to pull this out. So tomorrow, I think we will get her pulled out, set back on the ground here, and go from there. So, yeah, that's as far as we're going to get today. So, before you know it, it'll be tomorrow. So before you know it, it'll be tomorrow. So, yeah, I don't think... 2 bolts. That's all that's holding it in there right now. So, we'll jack it in. I slide the hoist in here. And I'm really missing my tractor right now. I got a flat tire on it, and I haven't been able to find a good used back tire. They're expensive. I ain't buying a new one for that old booger, but I am missing it a lot right now. So, alright, before you know it'll be tomorrow, and I'll probably have that thing out and start looking at what we got to do. But for now, I'm done in the barn. I think I'm going to go do something Halloweeny. So, alright, it's the next day. Was out here yesterday doing my thing. Got it all unbuttoned except for the 2 motor mount bolts. Got those freed up this morning. Apparently we put a little Loctite on there, so they were froze up pretty hard. So I had to take a little heat, get it loosened up, and give her a quick jerk. And she's loose now. I'm just letting her drain right now. Letting it drain out the torque converter because I can't rotate the motor to get to the bolt. So I have to take the torque converter clear out too. So that's where we're at. We're going to get this bad boy out of here today, tear the pan off it, and see what kind of catastrophic failure we ended up with. And I'm pretty sure I know it's oil pump, or lack thereof. So that's what we're doing. We're going to get this jerked out. We're going to let it drain for a few more minutes. Try to keep the mess to a minimum. And yeah, it's all good stuff. Okay, so we got it out. Keep hanging here. So, new plan. Anyway, so take the lower end of that one, put the top end of that one on that one, stuff it back in. Hopefully that'll be our fix. Build that one at a later date. So, alright, so we got it out. You're going to have to watch the next video to find out exactly what it is, because I just wanted to get this motor out. I'm going to clean up my engine bay on this thing this afternoon or late morning. I'm going to put it on both of them on the engine stand, start swapping parts. Once I can flip it over easy and look at that, I'll find out what happened. But you'll have to watch the next video for that. Mike with Muddy Boots Off-Road, thanks for watching. Remember to like, subscribe, hell, tell your friends. We got a lot of projects coming up. We got t-shirts, so let me know. Thumbs up me, heart me, whatever. Thumbs down me, I don't really care. I do this for me and entertainment purposes because I enjoy doing it. I am not out here to teach you guys how to do anything. In fact, probably do not follow anything I do, because obviously I have epic fails, but I also have successes, and this worked beautifully. Scrap metal, some bolts, some nuts, some washers, and 5 minutes worth of welding, 10 minutes worth of drilling. But that plate worked out amazing. It worked out great. It did exactly what I needed. Came out of there. I didn't make, it's about half the mess that I usually make pulling the motor. So again, thank you for watching Muddy Boots Off-Road. Like, subscribe. I'm going to repeat that. I'm going to repeat it. I'm going to repeat it. Like, subscribe. And thanks for watching.